New Xbox Series 10 controller pre-orders. Price. Release date. And everything we know, Windows Central. The Xbox Series 10 is getting a refined controller for its holiday 2020 planned launch window. Here's everything we know about it so far. Microsoft's Xbox Series 10 continues to dominate the airwaves, with the firm recently revealing its beastly 12TF spec sheet to complement our earlier leaks. One thing we did not know about, though, was the revised controller. Microsoft is building a brand new iteration on its current gen Xbox controllers, evolving its existing ergonomics and features while also adding in some new ones. While the controller itself has yet to be fully, officially detailed, here's everything we know about it so far. First and foremost, Microsoft has revised some aspects of its design, making it slightly smaller to accommodate a broader range of players, while also changing up its D-pad. The new D-pad takes some cues from Microsoft's popular Xbox Elite controller range, with a cross-segmented style format, which should be a boost for directional movement, as well as menu selections and so on. Microsoft is also putting textured grips on the triggers for the new controller, likely giving those trigger pulls a more tactile feel. Perhaps the most significant update pertains to the share button. Microsoft is joining Sony and Nintendo by adding a share button directly on the controller, in between the view and menu buttons in the center. Xbox lead Phil Spencer commented on the inclusion in a recent interview. "We're not the first ones to do a share button, so we're not going to say that we invented that. But we've heard feedback that sharing is such a part of a gaming experience now for many of our players. I wanted a dedicated button to share. So you'll see that. This new button will allow you to more easily share clips and screenshots across social networks without having to jump through the Xbox Guide menu functions. The functionality is already included on the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2. But you have to configure it to one of the paddles via the Accessories app." Confirmed on the Xbox Series 10 website. Microsoft is building dynamic latency input into the next-gen pipeline, giving developers an extra tool for making games more responsive. Dynamic latency input (DLI) we're optimizing latency in the player-to-console pipeline, starting with our Xbox wireless controller, which leverages our high-bandwidth, proprietary wireless communication protocol when connected to the console. With dynamic latency input (DLI), a new feature that synchronizes input immediately with what is displayed, controls are even more precise and responsive. This allows developers to more accurately synchronize what happens in your hands with what's happening on-screen. Using Microsoft's existing 2.4 GHz wireless signal that currently connects your controllers to your console and compatible PCs and dongles. Speaking of previous consoles and Windows PCs, the Xbox Series 10 controller will also be compatible with past-gen hardware, thanks to updates heading to Microsoft platforms. This means you will be able to take advantage of the new features and updated ergonomics on previous hardware if you're a PC gamer or an Xbox gamer not ready to upgrade your console. Additionally, all existing Xbox One controllers will work on the Xbox Series 10 as well. How the share button will work on PCs remains a bit of a mystery, but it will likely tie into the new Windows 10 Xbox Game Bar, which has many of the same features. Microsoft recently revealed that the Xbox Series 10 controller will retain the AA batteries found in the regular controllers. In an interview, Microsoft said this was because Xbox gamers are fairly evenly split about whether they want the option for rechargeables or not. Indeed, AA Eneloop batteries are generally the best rechargeable battery solution for controllers we've found so far, outside of the crazy expensive Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, with its similarly crazy 40-hour battery life. The Xbox wireless controller uses AA batteries to offer choice to players. As with all our work at Xbox, we place the player at the center of the gaming experience. And so we decided to maintain AA batteries for choice. This way, gamers can choose whether they use disposable AA batteries, rechargeable AA batteries, or a rechargeable battery pack. The controller will also use a USB-C to USB-A cable for charging its optional Charge Kit battery pack, likely to be sold separately. The Xbox Series 10 itself still only uses USB-A ports. There are a few unanswered questions, of course, about the new Xbox Series 10 controller, which we'll answer as soon as we get more information. We've heard that the controller may launch before the Xbox Series 10 itself does, simply replacing the previous version of the controller on stock shelves. The ability to bind the new Xbox controller share button recently hit the Xbox Insider Preview program in August 2020, which could indicate an imminent launch. If you can weather the price point, it's unlikely you'll be disappointed with this controller. And it works on the Xbox Series 10 too. The Financial Times reports that as part of negotiations, Microsoft is now inquiring whether it can buy all of TikTok, instead of just the business in the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. This new plan would include India and Europe, and excluding China. Need even more Surface Duo in your life? Check out the latest Android Central podcast, in which Daniel Rubino and Daniel Batter, double the Dans, discuss Surface Duo, Microsoft's Samsung love affair, and Project X Cloud. There are many Windows 10 tablets on the market, but it's hard to sort through the rubbish. Here's our picks for the best Windows 10 tablets you can buy right now. At the top of our list is the Surface Pro X, which we think is the best due to its ARM processor, large display, and thin form factor while still packing good battery life and excellent performance. You have a lot of options when it comes to gaming laptops for playing PUBG. Luckily, this game can run on a lot of different machines. Here are our picks for the best laptops for PUBG. No spam. We promise. You can unsubscribe at any time and we'll never share your details without your permission. Text source: windowcentral.com.